Let's bring in two former chairmen of the Councils of Economic Advisors, Austan Goolsbee and Glenn Hubbard, on the phone. Also, CNBC senior markets commentator Mike Santoli. First, though, let's get to Steve Liesman for some reaction to these numbers. Steve, you probably I can't imagine that your jaw dropped, Steve. I'll bet you were right in this area, weren't you?
Absolutely. You know, Canada did 1 million, so I thought for sure it was going to be larger than the 1.5. I did see one outsized note at 7 million. But let me say three good things about this, and people can throw things at the television if it works. First of all, it shows the states were able to process more claims than we thought they could. I have to imagine the people working at these state-level unemployment offices are working under tremendous duress, the same concerns about coronavirus. That was one of the things that was going to limit this number all along. That's one decent thing. They were able to process it. That means people are now in the system to get aid very quickly. The social safety net we had set up, for all of its failings, in my opinion, is doing what it's supposed to do, which is to quickly get aid to people who are shocked by developments in the economy. And there's a third benefit here, Joe, that I don't think we've thought about, which is generous unemployment benefits, which don't exist now but are more in the bill, play a role in fighting the virus. What you don't want is people having to take risks to go out and make money. You want them to be able to shelter in place and have the money to afford that. So getting these benefits out is part of the process of fighting the virus. And we'll need to review this, the bill that we have, to make sure it's inclusive enough so as not to create that motivation on people's part. So, yes, it's a horrific number. It's terrible, people losing their jobs. Also a question as to whether or not employers can keep people on the payroll and the stimulus bill works. But it's doing an important job that it was set up to do.
Austan Goolsbee, I probably could answer for you since you're on TV so much. I already know what you're going to say about all this stuff from last night. But give me an idea of what you think of the number we just heard and the fiscal response, assuming that the House moves this forward. What do you think our future looks like, Austan?
Well, look, it's a brutal week. We knew it's going to be a brutal week. Let's hope they can get the relief out quickly, because I think it's clear people are going to need relief. I think we're in a circumstance where we just spent $2 trillion. It's not really going to be stimulus in the conventional sense. This is just we're going to take the money and we're going to burn it to keep people warm. And so we're definitely going to need another round of relief. And when we start to unpack what was in this one, and it was done so hastily, there's going to be problems with it. I am a little afraid of, let's call it the political will, the political legitimacy of these rescues. So in a way, the fact that this was as abrupt and severe and all in 1 week as it was is a sign that, maybe the ultimate V shape could exist, that people stopped going to work because we went into lockdown. And maybe once we get some control on the spread of the virus, maybe it can come back, if not as fast as it went down, maybe it can come back in some rapid kind of basis.
Yep. Glenn Hubbard, agree with Austan or more optimistic? Or?
Well, I think I broadly agree with Austan. A pandemic is not a typical recession. This was a shutdown of the economy for legitimate healthcare reasons. And the purpose of a federal bill at the moment really is a kind of freeze in place, simulate a normal economy, try to keep people attached to jobs and keep incomes. The recovery bill obviously had to be done quickly, so it's not perfect. But I think particularly with small and mid-sized businesses, it offers important aids. And the strengthening of unemployment insurance is also a very good idea. We're definitely not out of the woods. There are market stresses, there are real economy stresses. And I agree with Austan, there will have to be some sort of follow-up bill that's more of a true stimulus measure. But so far, I think policy has stepped up to the plate. And now the question will be, can it work? Is the implementation there?